In this tutorial, we will see how we can send emails from our Spring Boot application. First, we will see how we can create an app password for our Google Gmail account so that we can securely log in from our Java Spring Boot application. Then we will implement the option to send simple basic text emails. Then we will see how we can send email that have attachment, more than one attachment. And finally, we will implement the HTML body based emails. And we will also talk about how we can embed image into the HTML emails. So without further ado, let's get started. Let us start our tutorial by configuring our Google account for logging in from our Java or Spring Boot application. So you cannot use your emails or Google accounts on username and password to log in from Java application because there are restrictions on two-factor authentication or two-step verification, etc. So what you need to do is to create a specific password for this purpose, which is called app password. So we will be discussing how to generate that. So once this password is generated, you can use that password along with your email address to log in from your Java application. Then we can send email from that account. So let us see how we can do that. So for that, you need to go into myaccount.google.com, and I'll be using my secondary email address tutorial.genuinecoder@gmail.com for this tutorial purposes. So I have selected that account. Then you have to go into the security settings. And the first minimum requirement for generating an app password is that you need to have a two-step verification enabled. So in my case, the two-step verification is currently off. So Google won't let me create the app password. So let me show this. Let me show you what happens if I try to create one. To create an app password, first you need to search here for app password in the settings, in the settings search option, and choose this help article, sign in with app password. So I will click on that, and it opens a help section here, and Google is asking, giving me a link, create and manage your app password here. So if I go into this link and log in with the account that I want to create app password for, it will tell me that you are not supposed to create it. So there is an error. It is saying that the setting you are looking for is not available for your account. That is happening because I haven't configured the two-step verification. So let us do that first. So I will go into two-step verification, and by default you have to provide a phone number to enable the 2FA or two-step verification, but I have already added an authenticator, so you can use any of these options. You can add your phone number as well. So I will use that approach. So without giving my phone number, I will skip this part, add phone number for two-step verification. I will skip it, and then I will just continue with the authenticator approach. So now the two-factor authentication is enabled. I can simply refresh the app passwords page, and it is now asking me for the app name. So again, let me just make sure that you understood it. You have to make sure that your two-step verification is on before you attempt to create a app password. Okay, now I want to give an app name. So I will give it as Java email tutorial, like that, and I will click on the create button, and it generated this password. So this app password, I can use it to log in from the Java code. Let us now proceed to creating our Spring Boot project next. So for creating a new Spring Boot project, I will use the Spring Initializer tool. So I'll be using the default settings, Gradle, Java, Java 21. And regarding the group, I will provide the group ID as com.genuinecoder, artifacts, Java mail. And here for the project name, I will provide Spring Boot email tutorial. All right, so that is fine. Now we need to add some dependencies, right? So the first dependency I'm going to add is the Spring Web, so that this will be a Spring Web application. This is not mandatory for sending emails, but since I'll be starting the project as a web application, it is nice to have. So that's why I have added the Spring Web dependency. And the main dependency is called Java Mail Sender. So you have to add this one for supporting emails from your Spring Boot application. So let me add that, and that's about it. Let me create the project. Now let me open this project in IntelliJ IDEA. I have extracted the project, and let me open that in IntelliJ IDEA. So inside IDEA project, it is extracted into Spring Boot email tutorial. So let us wait for the project to start after building. So it is currently being built. While it is being built, let us have a look at the build.gradle file. And here you can see that the two dependencies we added, the starter mail and starter web is there for email, and the configuration can be easily done through the application.properties files the Spring Boot has. So this is our configuration file, and we have to start configuring our email server settings here. So the first thing we need to do is to provide email.host. So spring.mail.host. So which is the host of this email provider, and that is smtp.gmail.com. That is fixed. This is fixed for Gmail. So if you are integrating Gmail, you have to use this one. Okay. Then we have to provide mail.port. So similar to the host, this is also fixed value. And we have to provide the username. So mail.username, and the username is the email address. So the from email address or the email address you have generated the app password for. So in my case, it is going to be tutorial.genuinecoder@gmail.com. Okay. And then we have to provide password. So it is spring.mail.password. And for the password section, I will use the app password we have just generated. So let me copy this and paste that here without any spaces. So you can get rid of the spaces between them. And then you have to configure two properties. So you have to search for mail.properties and then provide smtp properties.mail.smtp.auth. So you have to enable authentication true. And similarly, you can copy this and provide another setting, that is smtp.starttls.enabled is equal to true. So these are the configuration you have to do in your application or properties to configure it. You don't have to do any extra code or anything. This will just enable your email. Now, let us see how we can send a simple text email from our program. So for that, let me go into the Java code section and have a look at the main class. So this is the simple main class automatically created. I will create a new Java class here, and I will name it as email controller. So basically what I want to do is I want to create an endpoint, send email, maybe send a text email, and when that endpoint is called from a browser, I want to have the email sent automatically. Okay, so for that I'll be creating a REST controller here, so that I will have a REST API. And for the request, let me create a request mapping and provide send email. So this is going to be a very basic email that we are sending. So send email public string send email, and here we have to add the code. So the dependency we have for sending the email is the Java mail sender. So let me auto-wire it. So private Java mail sender. I will just convert that into a constructor injection. So this is the class. This is the service class we want to use for sending the email. Now for sending the email, we need an object of symbol mail message class. So let me create it like a symbol mail message equal to new symbol mail message. And here we have to configure the properties of the email. So we have to obviously set the from value. So the set from, I will set tutorial.genuinecoder@gmail.com. So that is my from address. For to address also, I will use the same one because this is just a tutorial. So I want to send from the same account and receive on the same account so that I can show you guys if it is working or not. And then I need to set the subject. So we can provide the email subject here. The subject, I will provide it as simple text email from genuine coder, something like that, right? Then the body also you can provide like message.set text, and here I will provide simple test email. So here the body, this is a sample body, this is a sample email body for my first email, something like that. Then to send this message, it is very easy. You can just call mailsender.send and you can send the message just like that. That's about it. Now I have added public string to return the status of this operation, like whether it was success or not. So what I will do is I will put this in a try catch. So in case any exception happens, it will be code here. So instead of mail exception, I will put just exception. So if any error happens, I will simply return e.getMessage. So the exception message will be returned. And if no errors happened, what I will do is I will simply return success. I will simply return the message success. So if I see the message success after calling the send email endpoint REST API, then the email is sent. Okay. So let us try this application. Let me start the project and let me also open the Firefox web browser. And let me go ahead and open the endpoint. So localhost 8080/send email, right? So let me just confirm the endpoint. So that is send email. So I am calling send email here, and let me try that. It is taking a moment, and you can see there is a error. Must issue a start TLS command. So that means the configuration has a slight problem. So let me go back to the application.properties file. And here I have provided SMTP start TLS. So instead of enabled, it should be enabled. Okay. So let me change that and restart the application again. So the application is restarting. Let us wait for that. Yeah, the application is restarted. Let us try the email again. So now it is taking a bit more time. So I believe it is going through, and you can see we got the success message. So let me open the email. Let me open the Gmail now. The email account is now open, and here you can see simple test email from GC. So we have got this message. This is a simple email body from my first email. Now let us see how we can take this a step further and implement an email that has an attachment. Okay. So for that, I will come back to the code, to the email controller section, and let us create a new endpoint for sending email with attachment. So send email with attachment. So this is going to be our second endpoint, email with attachment. Okay, so regarding the simple mail message, we have to make some changes here because it is not going to be a simple mail anymore because it has an attachment. So for that, what you need to do is to create a my message. So you have to create a my message from jakarta.mail.internet, that package. So my message equals, and you have to create this object from the mail sender. So the auto completion provided by IntelliJ is correct. So from the mail sender object, call the create my message option, and that will create a my message. Then we need to have a my message helper class. So helper my message helper equals new my message helper. So have a look at this function call or object creation carefully. You have to set this multi-part equal true value. I mean, this is correct. I mean, it won't show any errors or anything, but it won't allow us to send emails with attachment because we have to send multi-part emails here. So add a comma there and put true value so that you can include attachment. So that is fine. Now we have the helper, and from the helper we can actually set all these things. So helper set from, set to, set subject, and set text. So let me improve the subject. Simple email, Java email with attachment from genuine coder, something like that. And let me set the body as please find the attached documents below. Now you will be wondering how we can add an attachment. That is very easy. So you can just call helper.add attachment option. So if you look at this function, override function, you can provide multiple things there. So you can give a file, actual file of java.io.file there. You can provide a data source. You can provide an input stream source as well. So in our case, I'll be showing you how to add an attachment with a file. So you can actually try any of this. So the first argument in this add attachment function is the attachment name. So let me show you what I want to attach. So let me open the file explorer, go to my documents folder. So in the documents folder, I have prepared two datas. So the first one is a logo.png. This logo is the genuine coder account logo. And there is a pptx file, just a presentation for one of my tutorials. So I want to add both these attachment into the email. So let us see how we can do that. So the first thing I need to do is to get a path for this one. So let me shift right click and copy as path. So I will get the path of that file. And here I will provide logo.png, and here I will provide new file, and I will just paste it here like this. And the single slash is not supported, so let me put double slash. Let me escape these slashes. So slash, slash, slash. Okay, so now we have attached our logo image. The second thing we need to attach is the presentation. So I will just put presentation.pptx. I mean, if you have a PDF file, simply give the PDF file name there. And here, instead of logo.png, it is going to be presentation.pptx. So two of my files are now attached to the email. And that's about it. So the mail sender.send will send the email with this content and with this attachment. So let us try this now. Let us restart the application and go into the Firefox browser. And let me go back here and go and call the new endpoint. So the new endpoint is going to be send email with attachment. So let me call that. And it is taking a little bit of time to connect and send the email. So let us wait until the request is completed. It is sending. And you can see the message is success. That means the email must be sent. And you can see, so in the Gmail, you can see that there is a new email, Java email with attachment. And here you can see our presentation file is there, as well as the logo image is also there. So that's it, guys. That's how you add or send an email from Java with attachment. So I hope this is very simple, because we just auto-wired this and call this mail sender.send to send an actual email. Now, let us improve our program even further by implementing an HTML-based email body. So the current email body looks too basic. It is just a text. What if I want to provide HTML and CSS-based styling for the email body and send it? So let us see how we can do that. We will also embed an image into the email. So I will tell you how it works and how we can actually embed images into the body of the HTML file. So that is a little bit different from what we do in the normal HTML CSS programming. So for the HTML content, I have already prepared it. Let me show that content to you. So this is the content I want to send as email. So this is a very basic HTML content. Let me show you the source code. So this is just a HTML page with some header, some paragraph, some list item, and a paragraph like that. And at the top, there is a logo. I actually created this using ChatGPT, and this is just a rough template for an email content. The most important thing to note here is that this kind of image attachment doesn't work with emails. So currently the logo is visible here because the logo.png is available in the same folder. But you can't do that same approach with emails. You have to have some special tweaks to do that. And also the easiest way would be like providing a URL. So if your logo is available on a public URL, you can give that HTTPS, like whatever the URL is. So you can give that. It works on most of the clients, but we can't guarantee. So the problem with the email content is that different email clients display the email contents differently. For example, if you are opening an email in the Apple Mail in an iPhone, it will be different. I mean, the supported content format is different from what a Gmail web interface or Gmail Android app or Gmail iPhone app shows. It is different for Microsoft Outlook. Also, it varies from version. So if someone is using a very old version of Microsoft Outlook, like a 2010 or 2007, then it will be very much different from what we see based on the tags you have used. So we can't guarantee that everything will work on every email clients. So I will show you the best way to do it. Okay. So the HTML file, I will just add that into the template section. So I will just drag and drop it into the template section like this. So I have the email content here, right? And the first thing we need to change here, this source approach will not work. So instead, what you have to do is to provide a CID value and give the name of the logo that you are going to attach. So here I will just give it as logo.png. Okay, so we have to provide it like this, CID logo.png. Then what we need to do is to create a new endpoint for sending an HTML email, right? So for that, let me copy this request mapping and send email with HTML body, something like that. Or maybe let me change it. Let me change it to send HTML email. That is even cleaner. So send HTML email. And regarding the code, almost all the parts are same. So up to here, the set to set subject is fine. So regarding the body, we have to provide the HTML body. So here, if you look at the overridden methods of the set text, you can see there is a parameter text and HTML value like this. Like I can specify, if I set to true, then this first parameter will be considered as an HTML value. So that is exactly what I am going to do. So here I have to read the content of the email content.html file. So for that, let me use get resource as stream option. So email controller dot class dot get resource as stream, and that will provide me an input stream of the file. So I can provide slash templates slash email content dot html. It is an input stream. So let me put that in a try catch. So try var input stream equals get resource as stream, and then we need to convert that into a string value. So here it expects a string value, right? So I can convert the input stream into string using new string input stream dot read all bytes, and here I can provide the encoding. So I will provide standard character set encoding UTF-8. So let me give UTF-8 as the encoding. Okay. So that should do the trick. And here we have to provide the true value. So the second argument is for setting whether the first argument is an HTML value or not. So let us set the value as true for the second argument. And there is a warning, and that is about null pointer exception. So we can put an objects dot require no null, because the error is saying that this, if the email content.html doesn't exist, then it will cause a null pointer exception. So we should handle that. So this should handle that. And now the next thing we have to do is to properly provide configuration for the log.png file. So we provided that it is going to be an embedded inline attachment using the CID option. So we have to provide that logo here. So providing the logo is very easy. Just like add attachment, there is a thing called add inline. So you can use this one, and it also accepts a content ID and a file, and the content ID must be what we have given after the CID. So here after the CID we gave that it is going to be logo.png, so we have to use that. So I will just copy this. I will just cut it and paste that here, add inline, just like that. And I don't need any attachment for this email, so I am not adding that. So the logo.png is added as an inline attachment. Okay, and there is like a small warning, and there is an error that I am missing a bracket there. Okay, now let us run our program and see if it works properly. And let me open the Firefox, go into localhost / send HTML email. So let me just confirm the endpoint. So you can see the endpoint is send HTML email. So let me make a request to send HTML email. And let me also load the gmail.com U1 inbox. Yeah. So let us load our inbox, and here you can see we have the Java email with attachment, and you can see the logo is properly loaded. This is not an attachment. This is something that Google Gmail automatically adds, like when we provide a YouTube link. So this has nothing to do with what we have done. There's a separate lane here. So as you can see, we have properly sent an HTML email. This is our subject. This is our body, and the whole HTML is now properly rendered. So that's it, guys. That's how you send an HTML email. So in this tutorial, we have seen how to send very simple plain emails. We have seen how to add attachment. We have also seen how to send email with a rich text or rich HTML body. If you want to add attachment for the rich text email or the HTML email, you can add helper.add attachment. So that is also possible. So it is up to you. So this covers all the main features of the Java Mail API with Spring Boot. So that's it, guys. Thank you for watching this video. I will see you on the next one. Bye.